Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL Pro League. We just saw NIP take on Navi on Cobblestone, and with our next game being Astralis versus Kinguin, we wanted to take the chance to highlight the upcoming Intel Extreme Masters tournament in Sydney. Astralis will be there, and also representing the North American region, it will be Optic and SK Gaming in attendance. Interestingly enough, both teams played yesterday, and Optic served SK their first map loss on train to start off that best-of-2 series. Optic continues to play musical chairs with their roster, however, this week moving Freakazoid to inactive and bringing in Jason R to replace him. With Optic already taking down SK in that one map, Jason R's first performance is already looking pretty solid. But while Jason R is only on the team as a temporary solution, he will continue picking up the role of the in-game leader. Optic is currently sitting in 6th place on the NA League and will be going up against Misfits on Friday. With Rostermania in play, this opens up the door for new talent perhaps to come into the scene, and maybe even you could be one of them. The Mountain Dew League is giving amateurs a direct path into the ESL Pro League. For all the information and details on how you can be involved, head over to esca.net/MDL to find out more. Finally, Rush has a bit of a smoke tip for all you up-and-coming future pros.
Tired of those pesky terrorists rushing B site on Cobblestone? I'm glad I'm not the only one, so here's a CT smoke to stop that rush. This one is a little harder than some of the other smokes we have shown. Position yourself in this corner. Aim to the left of this corner. Then run, jump, and throw, all within 0.5 milliseconds and in that order. The smoke will soar across the map and land perfectly to stop a T-rush.
Oh, hi.
Hello. Welcome back to the broadcast. Welcome back to ESL Pro League. You might be wondering why we look ridiculous. It is the second day of us doing... Yeah, you always... I don't know. It's the second time we're doing Fair Dinkum.
Yep.
Which is our little promo segment that we decided to come up with, have a little bit of fun, introduce all of us on the desk to a little bit of Australia's finest. This is in preparation for IEM Sydney. That's taking place on May 6th to 7th in the Kudos Bank Arena over in Sydney, Australia. You can get your tickets over at intelextrememasters.com/tickets. Make sure you're there. The teams that we're going to be seeing there so far that have been announced: SK, Astralis, FaZe, North, Optic, Renegades, and then we're going to have the Asian qualifier and the Australian qualifier. You bought these, so I don't think it's fair that you're laughing at how ridiculous I look.
Okay, so that hat is actually, we reserved that one for tourists.
I'm out. I'm done.
So that one you can take with you to Australia. That will help. It's quite sunny. We don't want you to burn, we don't want you to burn your head.
Back to the hair.
Back to the hair. And I'm sure that you're very, you're going to enjoy a bit of Australian culture. Mine is actually, this is a true blue Australian hat.
What's the corks for?
The corks are for the hordes of flies which land on your face. This deters them.
And what's the flag for?
The flag is just because it's Australia, Matt.
Ah,
we're trying to get people to come to Sydney for the event. Let's not talk about the hordes of flies.
We have kangaroos, koala bears,
much
we got
better
all
than
that
flies.
Cool stuff.
Stay to that.
Renegades, the Australian.
What is this other thing you've got over here?
This here is a true blue Australian boomerang.
All right.
These are from the indigenous people.
Okay.
And you can use them to hunt kangaroos.
Gotcha.
But nowadays we just throw them, and a boomerang always comes back if you haven't heard the...
Can you demonstrate?
I can demonstrate. Here we go.
Oh, Lord. That was
coming
really
back.
fun.
It's coming back.
Yeah.
Oh,
he skipped it up the ground.
Hey!
Not bad. That was perfect.
Kangaroo Slayer. Kangaroo Slayer.
Perfect.
And we do have some food for you to try, Jason. The package is a little bit ripped. But this is an Anzac biscuit. The New Zealanders will tell you that they are also inventors of this.
Okay.
They are liars. So try one of these.
All right, liars now.
We've
got criminals and liars on this island.
Henry?
Wow. Okay. The different islands, Jason.
So have a nibble on that. I'll continue to talk about these delicious, authentic biscuits.
Well, don't talk about them too much. We don't have much time.
All right. Okay, we'll get stuck into this. This is a Tim Tam. This is what Australia is known for.
And I've been known the Tim Tam Slam is when you bite this open and you drink something through the...
Did you say bite the soap?
Sounds like something else, to be honest.
Something sounds like something Matt invented.
Get the Tim Tam in ya. Eat the Tim Tam, mate. And the last one is
that's just a penguin bar, mate. We have those in the UK. It's just a penguin. You've stolen that from England, I'm afraid. Look it up. Penguin bar.
This is a barbecue shake. This is my favourite.
Okay.
I think we're done now, though. We need to talk about Astralis.
So we're going to talk about the match now. There's too many things. You brought too many things. This could have been 3 different segments. Astralis versus Kinguin is going to be the next matchup. Chad is inoperable. Henry, what are we thinking of Astralis versus Kinguin?
Sorry, who's playing? Astralis versus Kinguin. Okay, so it's going to be Overpass first, right? Let's get serious. Let's calm down. Okay. Maybe I can't look at you, serious. I'm going to look over here. Astralis, one of the absolute best maps, right? Overpass, obviously #1 team in the world right now. Kinguin, they are a team that's certainly on the ascendance. #2 team in Polo, not that that means much, but they can beat VP on their day. They always have interesting home derbies. Yep. They played Overpass actually recently against Epsilon this week and actually got battered 16-7. So going up against Astralis, and you just lost to Epsilon on that map, it's not looking too good overall, but they've got an amazing amount of firepower. Spiro, Mihu especially, very, very good. Amazing fraggers, but going up against Astralis, their overall package is going to outweigh them. I don't really see them having a chance here in Pro League.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing about Kinguin to me, I feel like, is that they seem to have some good results from time to time, but like we don't see them frequently enough. And whether that's just because they're not attending enough events, they don't qualify for enough events, whatever it might be. I mean, it's a situation where I feel like they should be considered a little bit better than they are, but they just haven't kind of broken into that level where we speak about them frequently.
They're a top 20 team, you know, in saying that, but I guess they are an outlier, right? They have that upset potential, but whether or not they can do that every day of the week against a team like Astralis in the Pro League on arguably Astralis' best map is a tall task. I can't see them winning this one unless they come up with some massive counter strats, some massive ways to, you know, really deal with how Astralis approaches this map on the T and CT and those sides.
I mean, now with Astralis, I mean, this is the thing we saw. Actually, even you know, Lauren mentioned on the desk, you know, NIP taking one of Astralis' tactics on this map. I mean, that's just how good they are. Where they're just like, yeah, this was nice. We saw it to great effect. Let's just take that.
Yeah, well, that's how CS progresses as a game as a whole. Like the best team in the world will present a new idea and a strategy that's not really been done before, and then it will evolve in the sense that it kind of stops working so much as everyone starts doing it. They know how to counter it at that point. So that makes a lot of sense, and that's always you can't. It's difficult to stay. It's just one thing to get to the #1 team in the world. Whether you can stay that consistently, win big tournaments, that's the next thing, right? That's why people catch up to you, start taking a lot of notice of your demos and everything like that. You're looking very serious that hat on, Jason. It's making me uncomfortable.
I actually forgot I was wearing it for a while.
Okay,
I've gotten used to it already.
Yeah.
Chad, anything about the matchup that you'd like to talk about?
I don't think Overpass will be as interesting as Cage, which is the following map. I do think they will have a chance there. So for this first one, I'm probably done, Jason. Are they ready yet?
Probably not. What's that, Henry?
I was going to say, do you want to talk about Cash now as well? Or
no. We definitely don't want to talk about Cash.
Just focus on
We're focusing
Don't
on...
get too far ahead of yourself, Henry.
Oh, you brought it up first. I'm just trying to continue. You said you were tapping out. I'm just trying to keep this alive.
Well, what if we talk about the cool jump smokes the guys from Kinguin sent?
Let's do it.
You've done stuff like that before. Why don't you tell us?
Jump smokes?
No, about theirs.
Oh yeah, I think they're really this. Just get off. All right, it's really innovative. I can't say it. I can't speak.
Of course, hates his country.
The way that they throw their smokes is unusual.
Okay.
You don't really see other teams approaching in the same way. And I think that's, you know, gives them an element to be able to have a lot faster strategies with set smokes landing quicker than other teams.
Can you go into a little bit more detail?
Cobble is a very good one. They're able to do some very good B cobble smokes, like from
I
T-spawn
remember people
on the
tweeting about it at the time and speculating when they were still using the jump buttons. With that, any truth in that?
Yeah, but now you can just do it with 2 keys, just as
So
easy.
it's still the same thing?
Yeah, because if you're doing it in a safe environment, right, you don't need to worry about holding your mouse, so you can have both hands on the keyboard ready to do the jump button.
So why do you think they're the only ones to do that and no one else does?
I think they maybe just nerded up in the server a lot harder. That's not meant in like a negative way.
Yeah.
I think teams should be doing that kind of stuff and innovating, but they kind of rely on gimmicky strategies to get them across the board. In saying that, in a lot of the demos that I've been watching them lately against tier 2 teams like they default a lot, and it's quite boring to watch.
Who, Kinguin?
Yeah.
They default a lot?
I'm really selling this match.
Yeah, you really are. We need to have a chat in between these when this game is live, Chad.
Yeah, about a few things.
Yeah, about a great many things. Yeah, so I mean, do you feel the same way, Henry? Is this just going to be like Astralis kind of putting on a clinic here? I mean, is there anything to the sense that? Is there anything Kinguin to do? What are the win conditions for Kinguin outside of like an individual Herculean effort?
Like I said, Mihu definitely has the potential to be a superstar in CSGO. He's certainly good enough. His only limit right now is he doesn't speak English. He only speaks Polish. He does speak some English, but not enough to be in a top team. He's actually a very, very good player. They have got some good results this year, and if the other guys can join in, and it's Astralis caught them on a bad day, that's pretty much is about it. Like, unless they go absolutely wild and Astralis don't turn up, that's the only chance they can really win at this point. They're just too good as an overall package. Like, even if they're not fragging, the team play and the tactics on the T side especially will carry them through enough to win enough rounds there. And Device's AWP, I don't really think they have an answer for that on this map. This is my favorite map to watch Device on. Very dynamic, always changing his position every single time. You can know what he's going to do in his tendencies, but he's going to be one step ahead of you every time. It's a game of chess for him, and he's very good on this particular map at doing that.
Even before he became an op, I remember watching when Kerrigan was in the team, and one of the things they did with him very well on the T side is give him isolation over towards long A, and he would just work his way up there, and he would always find like a one-on-one duel, and more often than not he's winning it. Like he made that area like his playground, and that is such a luxury to have, whether it's with an op, whether it's an AK-47, be able to get one pick like that on that A bomb site.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean this is now Astralis is just going to be.
The thing is, I guess one thing we can talk about with Kinguin, right? If Astralis get a bit ahead of themselves and think this is just a guaranteed win, lock it in, let's keep going aggressive every single round on the CT side, keep presenting ourselves and getting in towards connector, getting Device aggressive towards middle. Maybe that doesn't start working for them. They find themselves losing 3-4 rounds in a row and the economy gets thrown away. Maybe that's a chance. Maybe Astralis underestimate their opponents. That could be another win condition, I guess, to kind of put it like that. They're obviously going to go into this one very confident they're going to pick it up. They probably don't see any sort of realm they lose this game, but to be fair, it's online CS and Pro League has served out some interesting results so far. I'm sure they'll be having some caution going forward.
I think as well, like to touch on the counter-strike stuff I was talking about, if King would make sure they hold on to Sewer.
You're taking yours off?
The hats are off.
I was asked to.
Oh, really?
I have a legit reason.
Oh.
You, on the other hand, do hate your country.
Wow. So at the moment, guys, I'll just do Jason's job for you.
Yep.
We're waiting for the players to change server because they're having a lag issue. One of the players was lagging, so they're trying to find a mutual agreed-upon server.
There's a lot of that lately.
There is a lot of that lately.
Well, that's the problem with online CS, right?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be under 40 ping.
So we can talk about something. Oh, here's an idea. One of the things with Kinguin is that they've always it's kind of a crazy concept, but they've always felt like because they're the second best team in Poland, because we don't see Polish teams kind of mingling in terms of their Counter-Strike lineups with other countries. Is Kinguin really just kind of like a glorified farm team? For
Well, no, it can't even be a farm team.
Yeah, and it can't even because they don't even pick them up. But like, But like, they're still seen in that light, despite the fact we know VP doesn't make roster changes.
I don't think we touched on this earlier on. Maybe you weren't here yet.
Possibly,
Alex.
Could have been the first one.
But we touched on this that they know that that's never a possibility, or at least as far as they're looking forward, right? They have to build what they have with who's left. And I think they've done that because there was that e-battle team.
Yep.
And then there was the other one.
It's always been a mixture of these sort of players.
And now
right?
these are like the best of both worlds. So, to be a top 20 team in the world is nothing to turn your nose up at. I just don't know how far they can really push it.
That's the question. Is this just a team that's kind of locked in by the language barrier at the
moment?
moment?
That's the thing. Like I said, some amazing talent within this team in terms of raw firepower, but I don't think they'll ever be picked up by like an American team or even a European team like FaZe. Let's use them as an example as an international team. The English isn't quite there yet. They're still very young guys. I'm sure that can be worked on. This is great experience for them, getting good results overall and getting better and better at the game. It's a nice little package right now, but if they really want to set their expectations really high and get to like a top team in Europe, they say a top 10 team, they need to maybe address the language issue. Some of these players want to step out of the shadow of Virtus Pro.
Now, with Astralis, I mean, this is a team that's clearly #1 in the world at this point,
yes.
right? There was a question after they won the major. You could still kind of make an argument that there's still teams that can beat them, but this team is unquestionably #1.
Yeah, absolutely. Winning some big events recently, I think Katowice pretty much secured that after winning the major. Oh, like I said, the point, excuse me, this food is...
So
those Tim Tams.
Those Tim Tams, whatever they're called. The thing is that, yes, you can win one major, but like for the reason I stated earlier in this section is the fact is then everyone's going to be kind of set that as the expectation, how they should be playing the game, and everything you already do, they're going to start downloading it and working it out. If you consistently still win tournaments after that, it suggests your whole package, like they've got the coaches, they've got the sports therapists and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, everything's working very nicely for them, consistently winning amazingly big tournaments as well. I think the next major, coming up in June or July, whatever it is June? July. I think that's the real test for them. For me, when they win that, they win 2 majors in a row like SK did, then we're really talking. Then we can kind of say this is Astralis' era, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think for them going into this tournament, which we have Starletter next week, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see if they're going to be holding back strategies. I know we talk about that, but this win is important down the track, but it's not important for the ever-coming Starletter, which is just around the corner. So I would love it. This for me would like cement Astralis as a team who is super proactive about staying the #1. If they were to bring Cobble into the map pool and go, hey, we're going to play this now, like. They say they play all 7, but we've never seen them go up against another big dog on Cobble. It's something which I think they have the pieces and they could be good at. It's just they've never really addressed it.
Yeah, I think I agree. There's definitely number 1 for now, and Star Ladder probably going to be one of their tournaments again. It's just that next major for me, just to live up to the legacy SK left behind when they were number 1 team. That's what I want to see. To kind of like say, okay, now
Multiple
this year
majors in
belongs
1
to
year.
Astralis. Yeah.
Do you think this is going to be an era? Do you think next year we'll be looking back and say 2017 was the year of Astralis?
Yeah. I think the addition of Glaive, the only thing they were really missing in the previous Astralis package was when the chips were down and things started to go wrong for them, they kind of froze up, right? Like everyone called it choking, right? But they ran out of ideas. Like Harrigan seemed to didn't know how to kind of position his players and utilize them the correct ways to get himself out of this rut. Glaive seems to be a lot braver than him in that respect. When things are going wrong, he can detect it early, and he gets him into very quick and fast tactics to allow his top players to get into position where they can find frags. Train is of the grand final of the last major.
When they're down 7 rounds, just call that outside rush.
Outside rush, he knows the players start to freeze up, he can feel the communication start to fall apart, just do some outside rushes, get it done. And that's the difference maker, I think, between Carrigan's kind of in-game leading style and Glaive's. He knows when he can recognize the patterns as to when his team is about to fall apart. He fixes it, gets them back in the role, and it's actually much better to watch overall, I think.
How did this happen so quick? How did they become the best team so fast?
I think they were already like on the cusp of a top. They were already a top team, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no debating that.
Yeah.
But I think the thing with Carrigan was not only maybe he didn't have some elements that Glaive does have, but I think Carrigan is a great in-game leader. I think they had lost hope or faith in him as an in-game leader. So when you're addressing situations and it's getting tight, then not only does it compound like, okay, this is stressful as it is, oh, well, we don't have faith in our in-game leader, or we don't think that we can do this or whatever. So even though that might not have been actually expressed, or it wasn't present, it could have been, subconscious. And I think, that's a factor. We talk about this. We talked about it in the first matchup, Draken, how he's going to revitalize NIP. Andy being the new coach has looked like it's helped Na'Vi. So a new player now for Astralis has obviously helped them leaps and bounds as well. And I think like everyone, kind of gets a bit of a honeymoon period, which is a positive thing.
What's going on here?
I think we're going to show some smokes off.
Okay. An interesting mix-up.
Yeah, I think this is just to provide a little bit of entertainment. And that's the thing. I don't think this is just kind of rushed. I think this is like an impromptu, like, hey, future pros.
Oh, okay. This is cool.
Is this live?
This is live.
I believe it's live.
So we don't have to talk about this, though.
So, yeah.
Well, that's a good one. I'll be using that. That's great. How do I play that one again?
That's actually...
Get that camera.
Jeez, Rush. Come on now. What have you done? I just calling it a one-way, I think. Keep the spake shift one way.
While we've got
Bait them into thinking it's a one-way and then you kill them.
Yeah.
There was the tweets that went on this morning and last night, I believe. I think MBK started off with the grenade noises.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that one?
You kind of seem to have a good understanding of what he meant. I'm still a little bit confused.
My level of understanding, unless things have changed since I quit playing, was that on different surfaces or different levels, when you pinned a grenade, it made noise.
Let's pin a grenade.
Well, it doesn't matter. We need another player.
Right,
we need someone else, right? So, like,
There
an
you
example
go.
is B
Here's
long.
a good
Demonstration.
B long when the Ts are like all setting up their nades and they're pulling them out, and if the CTs are on a lower level for whatever reason, they can hear it. Another one is Pop Dog on Train. When you're going to Under Armour flash down Pop Dog, you can hear them pull the pin on that one. And I believe Nathan's tweet is about, making it so that you can't hear that, right? Because it gives away if an execute's coming, especially like a full execute, like a B1 on Cobble. That's when the Ts can just start, CTs, can just start launching all their counter nades ahead of time. They get, an extra tell.
So just to confirm, it's not when you actually throw the grenade, it's when you left click and holding it down.
Yeah, you're just holding it.
So you could, and it's not consistent for other surfaces. That's the main problem for me. If it's consistent throughout, you could almost use it in your favor. You could base out.
I could be completely wrong. Someone tweeted me and say you're an idiot. That's fine. But that's my understanding. And
we'll be doing that.
MSL made an interesting tweet where he was saying that he agrees in the sense of the middle throw and the normal throw, but the underarm make it always make noise.
Make the sound.
And I kind of agree with that. Yeah, because people are so filthy with that in smokes. They like to do the little underarm and push through a smoke. And I think you should get kind of punished for doing a dumb play.
Well, I mean, that's
calling
it dumb.
If you use right click, it's dumb.
Well, pushing through a smoke, guys, come on.
Yeah, that's quite a
if you have a
specific
flashbang to back it up,
Sorry that I'm a purist.
God, Rush is just, this is awful. Yeah, I'll get that off.
Well, I could have talked him through a one-way. You try and do a one-way rush?
Okay, we're going back in.
Are we going to do coaching? Coaching with Chad Birchill?
Maybe.
All right. Yeah, I mean, let's...
I like talking, so let's keep doing this.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want to talk about next, Jason? Give us a topic. Give us a spicy one.
And
if you had the Negev...
Oh, God.
We'll go back to that game. The players are connecting, so we just have a little bit longer to
Okay, give us a nice question. Build us up.
We can talk about tonight's NA matches, Jason, and why you love North America so much.
This is his job.
could.
Don't do it for him.
Yeah,
That's
actually not a bad idea. I like this.
Oh, he's
suggestion.
bailed him
All
out
right,
as usual.
do you want me to, because we'll get your input here, Jason, because I think it's very important.
Let's
The
do it.
first match is Renegades versus NRG, and the map will be...
I'm just going to go with NRG.
Cobblestone. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that because Renegades currently have 2 standards?
I'm not even entirely sure who Renegades is playing these days, who they're bringing into the server.
Atta?
Atsa still? Okay.
Uber.
No,
And
Atta.
Uber. Atter and Uber. I'm still going to go with NRG.
You have faith in your old mate, Peaky?
Here's the thing,
Filthy
Peter.
Pete?
Despite some of his struggles that we've seen in tournaments, online play in North America, he's going to be a very solid option for you. And also, I quite like that they brought in Daps. He's an in-game leader that I've actually given some decent criticism of, over time. I don't think he's an in-game leader that's going to like blow your socks off tactically. He's not really going to innovate anything. But the fact that he can come in and provide some structure, that he's experienced as an in-game leader, one of the few in-game leaders in NA that's experienced. He has this team now. Last season weren't even even with under Gabi weren't looking like
now, right?
Yeah, they weren't going to be playing in the playoffs, and now they're top 4 at the moment. They're sitting right there in the middle of the race, in the thick of it. So I think he's done a very good job, and as well, you have to give him credit as well. Wasn't there for the successes of Optic at the end of last year, but he certainly got them to that line. He built them from a team of players that nobody had really wanted for a long period. Like those were kind of like five of the leftovers from different lineups, and he brought them all together and he got them to that finish line. And someone else brought him over it, but I give him credit for that as well. So I think that's cool. Another team that's done that recently is CLG, bringing FNS back, an in-game leader that once again is not tactically going to blow your socks off. He's not going to light the scoreboard up or anything like that, but he's a playmaking in-game leader. And he also obviously knows this team because he's got Cutler back to playing to a new level. He's now got Ricky underneath him as well.
Yeah.
So that's looking like a pretty, maybe not world beaters, but exciting.
This is our
Maybe
new
not
show.
well beaten.
This is just our
They
new show.
do have Kustas, so I mean they
Yeah,
could be there
true.
easily.
This is Talk and Counter. We just need a couple of beers,
Frothies.
a couple of frothies, and away we go.
Yeah,
What
you should
if
have
it
brought some
actually-
Fosters with you. That would have been
Yeah,
great.
if we
That
had
would have been
Fosters,
fitting
this
in.
could be like Talking Counter and Fair Dinkum.
And
all
it'd
at
be
once.
actually properly Australian instead of this penguin wannabe chocolate.
Yeah, the
Right.
wannabe.
What about Immortals versus Rush? Or are they ready?
I think they're
We
ready.
better not
Here
hold
we
them
go.
up
He's
anymore.
giving us the
Hold
finger.
on. Yeah.
That's it. Let's
not-
go.
Over to the caster.
With that being said, we will be heading over to the caster. It is Mitch and Lauren.
Can we appreciate, for that moment, they went with Chad's throw rather than Jason's. Just back on Jason, feel the shame.
To mayhem, and
yeah.
it's all gone to bollocks here. To be fair, though, I wouldn't mind if one of those boys lashed me a Tim Tam or something
Well, a
in the
penguin bar?
interim. Yeah, well,
Great.
are they the same thing? Is that
See,
what's a penguin bar?
I'm trusting Henry to a degree. Big fan of penguin bars. They used to be in your lunchbox when you were a kid. Chocolate with a little bit of biscuit in the middle, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we got
a little bit of chocolate
biscuit in the
between.
middle?
Here we go, yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Chuck us a bit of that. Bite, break it off, you animal. Oh, thank you, there's more.
No, it's biscuit with chocolate in the middle.
That's a penguin. That's a
Whatever.
penguin.
Speaking of penguins, of course, it's going to be Kinguin going up against Astralis in this match here. Obviously, over 2 maps, we're going to be kicking things off on Overpass. And Lauren, the desk wasn't really very hot on a Kinguin performance here. They were definitely favouring Astralis.
Oh, yeah.
Do you agree with that?
This is one of the moments and maps where, stop eating the bicky. He's gone back in for more. Cheeky.
Is that a euphemism, Lauren?
Maybe. Astralis, though, known for this map. Their progress on this is good. They've set trends that other teams have picked up on. Kinguin, certainly very quirky. No disputing that, but people are very aware of what Astralis do now. You saw this being one of the big defining maps of their new playstyle.
Sure.
Coming through, which was the whole giving them very defined roles or certain pairings, working playstyles together. So for them, this is a good map to show it off. Eyes towards Kiebi and Dupree in that aspect. Beyond that, again, they've got Device, good AWPing style, very aggressive on this too. It works well on it. So a lot of factors come into this, but Kinguin can come into this and look at Astralis and go, okay, how can we dismantle you? We're the underdogs. We can put you somewhere in, maybe on a back foot here, because we can work everything that you're doing. But another spanner to the works is I know Astralis just had a boot camp as well. I'm not sure if they're still there, but they were recently. So this could be them, on good form, feeling good about things, pulling themselves back into line. So yeah, we'll see how that one plays out. But Kinguin up on the T side here. And T side, of course, will be Astralis.
And let's shelve, I guess, our predictions for now. And let's see how this works out, of course. Pistol round to start us off. So far, a couple of shots being exchanged, but very little damage being incurred. It's Rallon with most of the utility here for Kinguin. And that's one of his flashes now being put to use. Even a decoy thrown up in party. So Kinguin making sure they exercise as much of this margin as they possibly have. It's going to be a little bit of a later push over towards B by the looks of things. And Glaive will be waiting in Monster.
Glaive. A bit of info. Able to escape as well, which is good. But you can see the push coming through. Zipnix and Dupree there. Dupree gets found pretty quickly, and Astralis backing away from B. They don't want to actively try and hold it because they're being overrun. And actually, so far, Kinguin setting the pace here. And they're doing it rather well.
On the bomb site, bomb down. Mouse is going to cover Miku as he goes for the plant. And Glaive has no win right now, nor does Kirby, really. Both of these two players, one of them needs to make a move. It's going to have to be Glaive at least trying to draw some attention towards him on towards that catwalk. Now down into pit. Kirby takes a couple of hits up the top side. Glaive has to face this, and there's going to be two players at least to deal with. It's going to be Mouse's head goes rolling, though. Rannan was close by, and now the 2v3. Oh, that's going to be Miku, though, dropping into the pit.
Yeah, Miku around on the flank then just kind of just stopped that from beginning. It looked a little dangerous at moments there, but no. In the end, Kinguin pick it up. Good start for them. Team ace as well. Every single player getting a kill on the board. And we'll see what Astralis do to try to respond to this. We actually do have a pause coming out, so wait to see what happens with that. I can imagine it's probably, I imagine, technical at this point, as tactical would be curious. But as said, a little outdone there. Kinguin defining the route they want to take. The aggressive play coming in through underpass from both Dupree and Zipnix, just not really working out. And Mouse and Miku so far both having the rifles. I wonder if we get the UMPs coming out, what they have in store for us. Because it will mean if they go for the rifles in this round between those two, it would be a bit light on utility, so the others might go for the SMGs just to be able to get a little bit more. And we know that these guys like a little bit of tactical play or kind of scripted or, you know, those sort of hits where you've got these perfectly done smokes. And Astralis are no strangers to that on their T side as well. So it'd be quite nice to see what Kinguin have up their sleeve. Always an interesting view. So, dramatic music starts as maybe the mouse has started working again. But we are actually alive into this one. That's all but a ruse. Anyway, we'll see how this one goes. Kinguin want to keep this one alive, keep those SMGs farming up the money. On the other side, a hell of a lot of 5.7s, P2 Swifty, and a Deagle.
Grenade going to come in towards Party. And Kirby just going to take a little bit of damage off of that. Nothing to write home about, though, at this stage. Astralis bring Device and Kirby back into the A site. They actually scouted deep on long early in the round and found very little. That's a lot of information for Astralis now, knowing about how Kinguin want to move around the map. They know that their eyes need to be towards B, and I like this. I like this setup here in towards the canals here for Astralis. Zipnix just on the outside. I like it a lot, but it's going to force Kinguin in towards Monster. Not that they know.
And now Sparrow might need to help out here. There's still two players on short. They've kind of negated it as I think they want to pinch it. And they're going to do that right about now. There you go. Dupree's now under fire coming in from Rallen. He fell back. He was over by Toilets. So he fulfilled that role in the end. I thought maybe they'd put too many players towards A, or at least, you know, that additional one towards Toilets, but he came back through on the pass. They worked out well, kind of pinching in those players on short. Kinguin making the most of that hit there. And now Kirby and Glaive trying to play back into this one. Again, not much play going to come through this. They are pretty locked out, but any rifle taken away is good here. There were 3 up at the start of this, now down to 2. Rallen not particularly in a position to pick up that rifle either, so he might be able to get the last 2 as he is on the flank.
Kirby chimes in at the very least with the Deagle shot there earlier on. But Rallen has the drop on Kirby pretty solidly here. He may or may not see him, and really, the bomb's going to go up either way. There's not much that can be done about it. Glaive walks straight into that one here. Again, that rifle for Rallen still out of his grasp. He probably won't have it as Kirby was waiting for him. In fact, removes his UMP from him. And that's something Astralis at least can take into round number 3. Kinguin with a good start, and we are looking at Kinguin now on this T side to put together some of those more elaborate setups that we're hoping to see. Especially given that Chad has mentioned that they like to spend a lot of time in server and practice them. And this is that kind of team that isn't at every event, Lauren, that isn't flying around the world every other week. They have time to work on set plays.
And something doesn't often get mentioned as much as maybe it should. They do still have Lord as their coach as well. So it's not like they don't have an experienced head behind them kind of pointing them in the right direction. Might kind of create that personality that they have as a team that, you know, they like those kind of sort of styles to the game. But for now, the danger man really is Kirby. Maybe Dupree's got a Deagle. We saw what happened on this map last time. He had that to hand. And I wonder if you can see the name of his Deagle at the moment. I wonder if he's got the name tag on. Can we check? Can we go spec Dupree? Let's see if he... it's not. It's Kirby's. That's a shame. If he gets it, we'll have a little check. It's a little spicy name. And, well, there goes the one bit of impact, and there goes the second. So far, Kinguin's approach so far has been nice. He's cleaning out, mostly focusing towards long and Toilets control, but yet still having players watching for maybe a bit of aggression out on B or just ready to catch anything that's coming their way. The only threat is these 2 players. If they actually find anything here, they're in a little bit of a cheeky spot, but they have no armor, they've got USPs. If they go together, Kinguin, at worst, they trade out, so they should be fine. 4 rifles coming in, excluding Rallen.
Shouldn't be any more than trades at the very worst for Kinguin, and so far it opens up pretty well. It's pretty clean, in fact. Miku finds Glaive, and that's the second. Fell on a Device. Easy as you like. Device Not able to do too much there. It was Zipnix who actually found the kill. But now the gloves are off, Lauren. Now we're going to buy up some weapons and actually see what Astralis can put together here. Pretty standard AWP coming in for Device here. You have to find a kill with the pistols.
Doesn't have a great spawn anywhere. I guess he's got a slight A spawn, but nothing that you can really go
Just
overly
pick
aggressive
Fountain,
with.
maybe?
He could do. He's not got a smoke to set him up for it, though, so he might have to have someone with him. Kirby possibly going to be there to do the smoke if he wants it, or he might just go for the dry peek. We'll see. He is, actually, as well. He spots out one lovely connection. That's going to do the work. He's got Kirby facing just behind him in case someone trying to make a quick play to chase him down. He now backs away from that. He can reset his positioning too, and they fall into what might be more of their default positioning.
Yeah, really nice early round setup there, just between two players. Kirby was always going to be there to cover Device's retreat, so it would have been a trade at worst. It would have been Astralis, would have been 4-3 up anyway. All good things for the Danes to start the round. The Molly just on the outside of the toilet block here, and it will be Kinguin moving in.
Oh,
Mihi
God.
checks the smoke, doesn't see Kirby.
This could be everything. That's two players, kills for free coming in. They have no idea. And he's even expecting more players. Can readjust well, still utilizing the smoke, and Device is there to support. Lovely combination between the two, completely dismantling Kinguin in this round. And sadly for Kinguin, they never got off the starting blocks. This part of the round never began for them, constantly having to clear out everything because that early aggression, that early presence. And now Mao's, every angle could contain a player, but he has quite close to the barrel of the gun, but he doesn't hit the shot. It plays Kirby back into this, but he will fall. But oh, what a shot is that? Towards Dupree, and now we're in a 1v3. Looking unlikely, but he is landing some nice shots there, but it does get contained in the end. That threat shut down by Glaive.
Yeah, Mouse tries to turn the flash, but it actually goes past him and blooms right in his face. Not an easy situation to try and navigate there, but a couple of moments there from Kinguin in that round, but they were playing from a man disadvantage from the very beginning. This is obviously the exchange there. Mouse was pretty blinded up after this flash comes in. And this was earlier in the round as Kirby managed to get the drop. There is a gap in that smoke. I guess it had dissipated a little bit more by the time that Kirby had gotten through it, but somehow Kinguin missed that player lurking in the toilets.
Also remember, the smokes do sometimes look different from spectator to what the player sees. It might be a small difference, but there is a difference. So maybe it was different on their screens as well, which I think is still something that could be fixed.
I think we can give him the benefit of the doubt there, Lauren.
Definitely, you're right. So Dupree's just reset anti-flash for this, just in case they try and make a bit of a play coming down through Monster. But this is Kinguin pretty much doing the default. Default as you like. Look how spread out they are. Nothing particularly committed anywhere just yet. Seeing if there's any sort of tendencies coming out from Astralis, who seem to have maybe read that this could be a little bit more attentive towards B, just purely because where Kirby is. Kirby's just sat in towards Underpass now. Device is perfectly fine here, but you're also taking a gamble that no one's going long. And actually, Kinguin is starting to line up that way.
Yeah, and this could be a little bit risky now because Device is going to be the only player that can really respond to this in a timely fashion. Kirby can at least get in towards the plaza. It's a little bit of a dangerous position to play through in general.
But no bomb for the T side. Even though there are 3 players here, this is yet to be just done yet. Lovely little flash. Doesn't actually do much for him, but that smoke certainly going to give away enough information here. He's trying to get a little jump. It might have seen a glimpse, and it might have shown up on radar if you jump over there. I'm kind of curious if it does. But Device is readying himself for that hit, but the bomb could be going elsewhere. This could all be but a bit of a play, a bit of a ruse, because look where Sparrow's going.
Yeah.
Heading right round towards B. Now, Glaive's still there, as is Dupree. They haven't particularly rotated, and Kiebi's position actually might become better. If they rotate, or if he hears them, he can play off the back of that. Hearing players on short actually might sell this being a different hit. And now here we go. Suddenly, everything's been seen. Dupree gets overrun by Mouse, and now it's Glaive to slow them down, buy time, do anything before the reinforcements arrive. 3
players encroaching on the side. Glaive's got a lot of angles to cover, but time is going to be of the essence here. Kinguin must plant the bomb, and they're attempting to do so now. Sparrow gets it down. It's done. That's Kirby on his own, the 1v3. Kinguin cut it very finely. But once they select their site, their impact is quite efficient. And Dupree was in that spot there. He wasn't turned anti-flash for that push in. He actually moved back.
Yeah, distracted, don't know what it was, but he just didn't manage to get it done. But credit again to Rallen there. He was one of the players who committed towards A and actually made it round the back, being a constant nuisance, making it very hard for Astralis to rotate around. And it looks like Kinguin selling a bit of a fake there, another VP style that everyone talks about. Velas Pro, the king of fakes, making you feel uncomfortable in the wrong places constantly. Something that if you talk to any team, they will tell you that's the one thing they hate about playing them. You never know quite where that hit's going to come in until it's right there in front of you. So again, maybe Kinguin picking up a little bit of that sort of style. They're certainly selling a bit of a kipper there. You had 3 players towards A, Zipnix, Device, and Kiebi kind of in underpass still, and then the 2 obviously on the other side having to deal with everything. And look at the money now coming in from Astralis. That's double eco territory. And Dupree does have his deagle. I wonder if the name tag is on, just because I find it funny.
You gave us a little bit of it.
There you go. You'll catch it in a bit. Just because it's this map, so it applies.
Oh. Is that a reference to Thorin?
That is a reference to who he deagled the hell out of.
Oh, yes. Good times. Well, Dupree with the deagle. He's going to be holding that toxic corner for the moment.
And this looks like, again, Kinguin's hit towards B that came in before. Mostly, yeah, the bomb's there, but you look at the positions, you've got Rylan and Furlan working through one through underpass, clears that out, and then they pinch on short possibly a little later. They're being more active in it, maybe because they know this could be like a forced-up round, but it's quite deadly to go through this. Dupree might get played in here, not going to be getting much done yet. He's got a tag towards Mouse, but the plays through short begin, and now he's in trouble. He does find one, but the flames are burning, and he just can't stand there anymore. So, Zipnix now flashes in. More to follow. Great flashes too, catching both of them, making it hard work here. And Rylan's now going to pull himself up, but 2 rifles now sit into the Astralis hands. This is not an easy round for Kinguin.
Well, Kirby lucky to get away with that one there. Mouse was definitely looking for him, but Zipnix has been able to advance through the smoke here. He's actually found himself a fantastic spot to sit. Mouse will eventually have to show, but before he can even get there, he needs to deal with Kirby and Glaive, who are harassing from that higher ground. 43 seconds left, but Kinguin are committed to this. They've got no other choice but to push forward now. Molotov into the corner. That's the second, but not quite. Oh, it does get in towards the corner. Zipnix is forced out. Good little back away by Kinguin to make it a 2v2, but Glaive responds.
Yeah, still doing damage there, and the final blow will come from Kirby towards Mouse. And it was just about handled. Luckily, the players who were left standing did have rifles coming back into that and played it off well, but Dupree doing a little bit of damage. You know, you still had Zipnix around. It was still there in parts, but the money's pretty ruined for Astralis. Look at it. They can fashion a buy, but it's going to be far from ideal. But the same can be said for Kinguin. We've got P250s, UMPs, a Tech 9 there. I'm wondering if they quicken the pace, go for a faster sight hit, maybe something all together, maybe play out long. They know that Kirby and Device are playing through toilets, and this might be it. We'll see if Device gets something done here. He's spotted out 1, spots 2, takes 1 shot, nades out, backs away, depending on Kirby to help him out, but actually they're both
flash forced him back. That could have been quite nasty for Astralis. But Kinguin chooses not to respond, not to take that opportunity. Both teams with less than optimal buys, but Astralis avoid the double eco territory for now.
Well, last time this happened, we saw those 3 men playing up towards long, or 2, I think it was, and then they actually hit B in the end. But this time, Astralis want to keep the information coming towards them. Now, actually, Kirby's very isolated, very alone. Normally, you want him to bait in and work off the back of Device there, but he got smoked out. He can't help him, so now Device has to fall back. And Kinguin actually have a lot of information. Zipnix is trying to keep control of some parts of B just purely because of his position right now. He can deny that connector rotate very swiftly. He can at least hear it. So that allows Glaive to be over towards this. But there's still so much power with Kinguin here. They've still got so many smokes, flashes, even a molly still sitting there. So you can see Device trying to even the odds, and he's going to do it. Pulls it back favorably to them now. Let's see if they can work out the rest of where Kinguin wait.
Device, you can always count on him to even things up a little bit more. And in fact, Astralis play with the man advantage now. The smoke on long means that Kinguin won't aggress through that for the moment. Furlan will just sit pretty on the other side for now. He might even go for a deeper smoke in towards Bank. It's going to be the push. He goes straight through. The smoke was clearing, but he's decided now is the time to go. Smoke over at double bins as well. He needs to turn around. He needs to about face, but Mihu was also there. It's 2 for Kinguin on the side. Device responds. Zipnix has to get there quick. That's a wall bang through the bomb side, but no, the bomb gets planted.
He actually connected that too, but
not quite Yugi level.
Yeah. No. Yeah, he's going to try and keep that up to hand. And he's trying to not make noise, because obviously you can hear it up on short towards A. So, slinking away into the night. Merely 12 HP, no kit as well. And Kinguin, considering the buy they had, they made the most of that. Working their way back in, even to Device's best attempt. Couldn't quite change it around. And knowing the money for Astralis could be in a bit of a predicament here, we'll have to have a look what they actually have, because that last round was pretty trash from them anyway. It wasn't ideal. And yeah, they're sitting, a couple of them under 2k, but most around it. So I wonder what they're going to buy here, what they can actually achieve in this round. And
Play
for Kinguin, they at least have money this time. You know, we saw P250s, Tech 9s before. They've got so many mollies. I'm wondering if we get to see maybe a B hit come in. I'd love to see the Astralis hit against Astralis. I want to see what their kind of counter is, but they don't have the weaponry nor the utility to deny it. So that'd be interesting if they went for it, but it doesn't seem like that's the case.
Yeah, UMP's being brought around this very weak economy for Astralis. It's a force for all intents and purposes. Gonna hope to try and play around Device's AWP, and you can see he goes to party for that early pick. Again, a great way to relieve pressure early in a round where you are financially disadvantaged.
Yeah, look at these mollies coming through, trying to clear out everything, but the one thing they couldn't clear out was Dupree at the start, nor could they find Zipnix. Now 4v3, Kinguin may be regretting this. Maybe Astralis know how to handle this, find angles amongst those mollies that they've hamstrung so many teams against, but Zipnix finds himself a smoke, that just rolls into it. Thank you very much. Pops that back out, Device played in, and now we've got 2 left. Kinguin falling like flies. just unable to turn it, and Rallen through the smoke almost there. I think he might have had an angle on that, finding Device, but Rallen now outnumbered, well, maybe not outgunned, but at least on par. Gonna find it too hard to find that many targets. Recovered AWP comes in as well, but still, what kind of hit the brakes there, Kinguin. They seem to have run out of steam. They kind of got a little bit shaky when they went for the actual site hit.
And you can see it's very hard to rattle Astralis. They were facing down, you know, eco territory. They force up and they win the round pretty comfortably there with that aggression from pistols. Zipnix is very, very good at getting in and getting out with the job done. And that situation he played on B Catwalk was a good example of this. Now Kinguin going to force their own around the Tech 9s mostly, and an AK for Rallen.
This could be a fast hit as well. Here we go, Dupree backs away, flashes out again. Doesn't actually catch many of them, but they just can't check every angle. There's too many threats on board. One flash gets put back and it actually works well. But Zipnix is still there. Nice combination between the two. And the final fall to Kiebi, but a well-handled round in the end. Impact done early, and they rest quick on the rotate to not let it, spiral too far. But Kinguin will have to eventually just, I guess, relent. Just stop what they were doing.
Tap out of the arms race.
They kind of have to now. Good score for them in the moment. 5 rounds up. They're still ahead on Astralis by 1. So certainly not the worst thing in the world to be doing for them, keeping almost toe-to-toe here. I want to see if the depth applies to their CT side, but for now their T side is looking pretty nice.
Yeah, and you can see there's so much coverage over on this B side. A lot of those smokes are actually coming over from Kinguin, but that's Device misses the first shot. Got to be careful. He needs to respect his pistols up close. They need to back away quickly, but the flash is too good. Miyu finds one. That's the AWP down. But Kiebi quickly chimes back in. The MP9 to make some money as well.
Pray to Kiebi for the saving grace that he has been. That could have been a lot worse for Astralis here, but there's still threats on board because somehow Mouse has picked up an AWP, but that gets stripped away. The MP9
Get your hands
to the
off that, son.
Yeah, it was a swift backhand there, but now there's money back with Kinguin. They kind of had to do that anyway. You could see instantly, it was just right there, ready to help out when required. And he does what they needed to. But Kinguin had to go through that round. They made the most of a bad situation anyway by still making them having to, rebuy at least 2 guns, maybe drop one out here and there, but all is well. So 5-5 at the moment. This game is a little bit more competitive than maybe people expected. Kinguin coming in with a little bit of fire here, and again, Astralis going right back to this. Device going to be up and over. Smoke just going to keep him safe from certain angles, but there's a quick play coming in from Kinguin as well. Rallen and co do hit the brakes eventually, but there could have been more threat there.
Kiebi's close to Device, so he has some protection, and Kiebi's had an excellent couple of rounds. He's the pivot player for Astralis playing through Connector, and he's had multiple multi-kill situations over the last 2 rounds specifically.
I'm wondering what they do when that smoke dissipates. I think that's why Glaive's there, so they can stick in this position, because he's kind of holding the stair push. And it's a good read so far. Kiebi's watching Underpass, so they can't get pinched in, particularly. Now Device feels maybe uncomfortable, just wants to back away. Maybe just, feeling out the opponents. Kinguin will start to move up eventually. He's fallen back to the Guardian stairs. I always refer to them because it seems the Guardian just loves to play off it. But for now, Kinguin looking towards long. 3 players over there. Bomb still with Furlan. He's going to pick that one up quite late and start trailing that one over. Slowly taking it over that sort of way. But at the moment, Mao's still trying to sell a little bit of presence towards B, but it will probably be that A hit coming in. It's been going down pretty well so far. The Astralis are able to handle that B hit, but when it comes to A, that deep smoke's really hindering what Device can achieve.
Yeah, they play really well through long, do Kinguin. They actually maybe re-smoked that smoke towards long, but eventually they pushed through it with a flash, and it's worked out nicely in the last couple. Here comes the play. Here's the setup. A lot of Molotovs coming through, and actually maybe a reactive Molotov from Astralis there to block them on long. It's just in the opening.
It's so difficult for a Device to find a position here as well. Look at him forced to move out. Good flash, though, makes them having to run in pretty much hand over face, half blind at this point, but they've got to go for it. Miyu does find Kiebi, but Device, the turret on the back of the side, won't be moved, but they're still breaking through by Bank. And there's still a threat on board when Rallen is alive. 12 seconds, though. Make it 10. Surrounded, he can't do anything. No more options available. But they got close.
Yeah, I mean, this time you see the Kinguin don't opt to re-smoke it and push through it or anything like that. Usually they're only going to do that for 1 player or so. But Astralis, a very good response. They had a feeling for the timing. They had an early peak. The incendiary was put down. So the impact of all Kinguin's Molotovs that they threw and the smokes was largely mitigated by the time they got to the site. And it was still a bloodbath. It was a messy brawl. But Astralis managed to plant their feet and re-establish control.
Back again. I guess he'll keep doing it until he's punished for it. Plays well for Glaive, though. Gonna find Furlan. Right back through the smoke.
Played himself back in so well there.
Yeah, that was really nice. And, Suspiro will find Device. That's pretty uncomfortable for him. That means that there's an AWP fallen into the hands of the opponent. But beyond that, Astralis know that they should have this round in the bag. Look at the aggression coming out from Dupree. He's going to be clearing it out, and that just kind of just shows. All right, Kinguin aren't here, so they're probably going to be working around towards A. Just be careful towards Underpass. Don't give up guns.
Sparrow has managed to take Device's AWP here. So you can actually see that Astralis aren't playing up too close here around this part of the map. They'll fall back to the site, and Zipnix will try and nestle himself here. amongst the toilets. Glaive, though, pressured a little bit here out of connector. That's the flash. He turns it well. Now the shots come through. It's perfect. Centimetre perfect. 2 headshots for Glaive. And that is going to completely tear the legs out from under Kinguin.
Zipnix wants that AWP back, and he's going to get it as well. There we go. That's a nice little pickup. And at the moment, Astralis is kind of carving back a nice lead into the CT half. Bearing in mind, Kinguin may have hit a bit of a brick wall. You know, they were doing really well on those A hits. The B hits weren't quite as, you know, to the point. And you can see this, you know, the rounds coming back to back now, coming through for Astralis. Maybe just getting into the flow of things, starting to read the opponent a little bit better, get the idea of what's going on. But we've got Suspiro on the AWP. We've got a full bike out from Kinguin.
Device to be this round.
Switching it up, I like it. Again, this is something that you like about Device. You can't help but enjoy it. And look at the mollies allowing him to get here on time. That is so sick. I absolutely love this. And he's expecting the follow-up, but he doesn't hit the shot. But those mollies were put down to allow him to do that sort of play.
Otherwise, he runs into someone on connector.
It's so nice. It's such a nice little adaptation or a little bit of a change. But anyway, my excitement aside, we're now down to a 4v4. Again, you know, both teams having to just string together what they can here. Kirby holding a nice angle. Normally the Shadow will allow him to play into that first. You can see the pre-fire coming from Glaive as soon as he sees that. And there was going to be another player out there. They know he's tagged up. Yeah, Glaive's going to actually back off from this. Maybe we're a little worried about Party, and right to be so. Now he's got to be careful. The escape becomes difficult. Oh my word, he knows it. He's trying to bait out the shot so he can back.
That's the pay dirt grenade there. That's nice. That's really going to make Spiro respect this a bit more. There was 2 players out on long, but because of the damage that Rallon took in that first exchange with Kirby, he couldn't actually go for the re-peek after, I believe it was Glaive that actually responded. It was a 3v3, mind you. But things have slowed up a little bit more, and Zipnix is in the perfect spot to unravel this. Like that sweater your grandmother gives you for Christmas that you never wanted. He can really mess things up right now. But Verlin's pushed ahead of him through the toilet block. So now Glaive is going to be called on here, or maybe not. Zipnix now responds. First player down, there's going to be another one there. He's going to be surrounded on all sides, but the trade and the information is good for Astralis, and that allows Glaive to play himself in comfortably. The bomb is loose over on that A side, and Spiro, the AWP streak was very short-lived.
It was 8-5. And yeah, this is why it's the early mollies, and
you don't always expect this as well, Spiro to be playing through Monster like that with that AWP.
All right, let's see what we've got in store for us now, Kinguin. No AWPs, of course, this time for them. Not able to get that one up. But Device going back to what he likes to do. He's got Kirby with him this time, so back to that little duo. And going to be possibly flashed in. And no one really there. So we only had a little bit of peek going towards Underpass. This is the variety that pays off. And if you're Suspiro, do you expect this? No, Device actually backs away from it as well. So not outstaying his welcome. Maybe just not feeling it.
Would have been another interesting variation on AWP aggression for Device, which we love, by the way. Playing it safe this round. He's actually backed away to the toilet block here. And yeah, Guardian plays his spot a lot, actually. He goes early peak on Party and then always comes and sits back here. It's becoming the norm for a lot of AWP players. Even Simple picks up the AWP and does it.
You can see Device second-guessing himself that if someone had walked down those stairs and someone is just off to the left of him, he's going to have to depend on Kirby, who now can't see it because the smoke's gone down, so now Kirby has to just spray through suppressing fire. If only he had a Negev, it would have worked so well. But he does get his teammate out, so they're going to reset this one now. But look on the other side of the map, Dupree and Zipnix trying to push out through short. It didn't go well, so Sparrow's watching it. So again, having to fall back into this. They can't play out of it. Kirby playing up by the position on long, tucked in towards the corner. And looking at Kinguin, they seem to have just been waiting. They've kind of just slowed down and gone, all right, let's see if there's another response. Is there aggression anywhere? We almost caught it on B. Where are we going to go here?
Kinguin are going to get very low on time if they're not careful here. Rallon needs to come forward with the Molotov now, but the smoke is going to be in his way. So Kinguin have to book it straight up the middle here. They have to face this site. They've got 5 players to work with, and Kirby needs to receive quickly. Felon just demonstrates his backside to him, and he doesn't take the shot. Oh, now they're all going to line up for him. It's too easy for Kirby. And Glaive is going to get one as well. This is going to be tough.
Patience is certainly a virtue. You can see alongside him, but Mihu maybe, surely not. 10 seconds. Device peeks back up, and Dupree's around the back though, so that should be contained right about now. And you could see Kinguin there with that line of smoke, 3 of them across the site, but just didn't expect Kirby to be in that spot. You know, and him holding his nerve on that first player moving up and then falling back. I guess if you're Kinguin, oh, he's alive, well, I guess that no one's there.
You auto get traded out if you're gonna get traded out probably anyway, but you auto get traded 1-for-1 in that situation. Because he peeks, the second player turns around. The fact that he waits, who didn't actually see that first peek, that's quite astonishing to me. It's something you don't see very often, but he knew there'd be more. The smokes telegraph the push from Kinguin en masse.
And this is different. Device is actually pretty alone here, just Kiebi's gone in towards Underpass. And Kinguin this time, they have been getting control of Underpass. You can see that consistently. They're doing it now. Suspiro and Furlan walking right through. I wonder if they're going to go up or if they're going to check this far into the corner. No, Kiebi gets the drop. But Furlan's now waiting again. You can see Kinguin very far back. Yeah, a bit of a boost going on as well, maybe expecting that play again from Device to get aggressive. So you can see Kinguin trying to mentally find a way to get back into it, but it's hard to break back into it when they're so interchangeable, these rounds. You never know what you're going to be seeing. So at the moment, Kinguin might fall into this B hit. You can see a bit of attention coming through by Mouse all alone, though. 3 players there he spots. Bomb's now coming over.
Who was that supposed to play in? That's the real question there for Mouse. I mean, Furlan didn't use that in any way at all. So to us, it just looks like they're going 1 by 1 now, which probably wasn't the plan. Now, Glaive's low. He's probably not too worried at all here. Rowland wants to step up. Again, play himself through connector. That smoke not as effective as would have been desired. Glaive playing the bait role here. Doesn't want to full face this. He knows he has a player off towards the side. That was Dupree to find Rowland. And it's 10-5 at the half, Lauren. Astralis, it's a shaky start. They start to bring themselves back in here and now have a comfortable lead heading into the second half. Hey, we'll be back after the break, ladies and gentlemen. Just a short one, and then half 2 will be underway. Well, Lauren, we've learned a few things today. We've learned that Tim Tam's fake penguin bars, but Kinguin seemed to be the real deal. At least they started off pretty strong anyway, sort of posting up that 5 rounds. But after that point, they seemed to fall away in quite a big way, and Astralis maintained, regained control.
That's what you got to expect. Kinguin, you know, quirky only works for so long, and in theory, the team who have the bigger depth, or you know, the kind of further cards to pull, should be able to grind it out. And it seems that Astralis did that, but there's still a chance if for Kinguin, they actually have a very decent halftime score. If they get the pistol round and run off the back with it, you've got a really good shot for them. So I'm really hoping we get to see a bit of that depth from them here, and they can still maintain on the CT side. Didn't get to see too much of the AWPing on the T side, so I'm hoping that comes through. Maybe a bit of a double AWP action. Who knows what we're going to see from those guys. And for Astralis, their T sides on Overpass are always exciting, always enjoyable to watch. I don't know how much they're going to show or give away if there's anything new up their sleeves. They said they're recently at boot camp. Maybe they've got other plans here. If teams think they've worked out how to face off against Astralis, what they can bring. Maybe they've gone a little bit deeper on that. Maybe not. This is all theoretical stuff. But let's keep eyes on Kinguin here. For me, that's the big storyline, is how far can they take this on one of Astralis' I guess, best maps.
A lot of boot camping going on at the moment, Lauren, in the lead up, of course, to Star Series. Even Hellraisers actually had one. They said they lived Counter-Strike during that one. And obviously splitting the series against Na'Vi last night's a good sign. So practice pays, ladies and gentlemen. Into the second half, it's going to be Astralis up on that T side. We're not sure what to expect, but Glaive has all the goodies in terms of utility. And Mihi going to go for a pretty early aggressive peek here. He opens up well, has to trade his life for that kind of audacity. Mouse is low as well.
This is getting to a little bit of a predicament. The bomb's around the corner, and Mouse knows it. He's only got 7 HP, but he does have support. Well, he did. Spirit backed away and just left him to his own devices. He was like, nah, I'm all right. I don't want that fight. You have fun. I'm off ski. Roland, though, going to be the one to be a bit of a game changer here. He could get fast through Underpass and hear the steps possibly if they're going to run it. But you can see how slowly Glaive's taking this, and I'm not sure if it's because this is a possibility. I'm wondering if they keep that in mind. We're going to find out pretty soon, as Astralis will be kind of grouping back up together and going towards toilets. You're going to see, yeah, there you go. It just showed up on radar, but Roland, this could be huge right around the back.
This could be indeed nasty. The P2K is all he's got. The timing wasn't quite there for him, though. But Glaive is down in the pit. He just let that grenade go. He'll have a chance to jump on. You can see Astralis already executing it. Roland's not going to wait. He takes the shot, finishes.
But it was an early call as well, and that's important. He got to be able to call the information as he saw them going through, and then they went round Monster, which takes them even longer. So now, quick rotate from Kinguin, but they're into a 2v2. Both players have a kit as well on the CT side, but no armor. But Furlan finds Zipnix, and it's just Kievi on 6 HP. Unlikely he's going to be able to achieve much here. Now position noted, it's not going to happen. And Astralis run into problems at long, and then the information play coming through certainly helped out.
Astralis losing both pistols on this map. They managed to bring things back, but they've always going to have to allow Kinguin a little bit of a buffer, a little bit of a margin for them to bring rounds back. And this might be the springboard that Kinguin needs to even the scales, if not more than that. Astralis, though, no nonsense. That round 2 force is going to come through as we generally expect it to. 2 Deagles, 2 Tech-9s, P250 for Glaive. And most of them have armor and helmets as well. It's going to be UMPs for Kinguin for the most part. And Rallon, the Mag 7.
Yeah. Hefty stack towards B here from Kinguin, though. Love this little bit of a play down short. I'm wondering if Astralis start noticing something's up here. Certainly will now. Having a little peep out through that little underpass connector area.
Mag 7 at range.
Yeah, always. Oh, that nade. Oh, Dupree, no. That's gonna hurt. There we go. A little bit of a... Nope, doesn't want it. Doesn't want your Deagle,
Don't want
mate.
your trash weapon.
Nah, get away. Keep it. To be fair, I guess if you've got the Deagle, it's, you know, the hand cannon, right? You're meant to be able to do some work, but maybe 1 HP is stretching it. But so Sparrow holding a bit of an angle here as well. Furlan's going to be backing him up by facing down towards long. And oh dear lord, that timing. Smokes out. He's still got a UMP, but he's dancing with danger here. I know that it's Kievi and, you know, maybe it's not the biggest threat in the world right now, but, you know, it's the timing on, like, weapon switching and then pulling out the nade and, you know, these sort of things. It makes you a little nervous. But at the moment, 4 players for Astralis looking towards A.
Furlan decides a smoke is enough for him to be backing away with.
Oh my god, this is... How are they forcing this rotate? Zipnix is a genius! They're all going!
He's a one-man at B.
Oh,
3 players there now.
Zipnix! Unreal. Now they've got everything. Like, they're going to get the bomb down. It's the afterplant positions you got to look out for. You got one on the flank, that's Roland, but he's only got the Mag 7 and a pistol, so the pistol might become paramount. But again, that was such a good fake from Zip.
The fact they get a plant from this is pretty astonishing.
If they get the round as well, what a moment.
4v3. Roland meets one, missed the first shot, finds the second and third, though. That's 2 bodies going by the wayside. The Mag 7 claims its victims. And the bomb is now ticking away. Device has got himself cloistered down, but this could be a flank. This could be a big one from Dupree. Has himself the Desert Eagle, and Device gets work done as well. The Tech-9. Roland also down. Bomb ticking. 1 shot is all you need, Lauren. Just 1. Sparrow with the kit on the defuse. Dupree, can he time it? He does! The head goes flying off, and there's no chance! Mihu's got to back away, and Dupree has salvaged the round for Astralis. Perfect timing, perfect execution. The shot did not miss.
And that fake at the start from Zipnix as well was ridiculous. It caused everyone to rotate from Kinguin. I don't know what he was doing over there, but somehow he seemed to embody 4 other players with him. And just, you could see Astralis walking up to the side like, no one's here. Ooh. A little bit of an over-rotation from Kinguin, to say the least. That's
Kinguin,
put their money down.
You hate to see it happen, Lauren. You really do.
Oh, are we going to get to see how it's done to be with the mollies? Let's see if it's going to happen. I'm not too sure if this is the round or it could be just the fast play up through Cat. A couple of flashes come in. Furlan and Mouse there. CZs can do damage at this point. Let's be real. There's no reason to underestimate them. Mihu gets a bit of play, but it's a quick hit coming through, and there's already players left, right, center. Dupree's got himself into a bit of a curious spot, and Device holding the flank there, basically completely allowing Astralis to clear completely the site and then not have to worry about the backs. So there it is, there it's done, and these two just want to save this.
If last round was the knife to the gut for Kinguin, this round was the pimp hand. Astralis wastes no time on that pressure towards B. Suffer minimum casualties. Well, he'll have himself a consolation. UMP, nope, not about that life. Or is he? No, he's going to have to back away here. Knows that he can buy himself up Weapons in the next round. It doesn't need to worry about trying to salvage a UMP here. Might even still play on with that Mag 7, although it's unlikely. And this is scary. Astralis lost the pistol. They don't allow Kinguin to build up that safe buffer of rounds. The buffer that really lets you start to stretch your legs and try some variations. Like we got to see from Device, for example. That is something you see on that CT side. If you have a buffer or you start on first, you can go for these varied picks. But now Kinguin, the margin of error is so slim.
It is. And you've got 2 players sitting on 2K here. Kinguin's money, really rough. This could be just a clean eke. What are you going to do? Drop out some pistols? Yeah, okay. So 1 PT-50 dropped over and that's it. Kirby and Device, knowing what they're up against, opting for the SMGs. And this looks like the same old, clear through toilets. Quite possibly, Zimnix pinches in, collects water. He does it so well as well. And they slowly build up as we speak. Now, Suspero could maybe do something just because he's in a bit of an awkward spot, but it's unlikely. You can see Kinguin looking to find a way back in, but they're merely finding the opposition's gun barrels so far, and that's Dupree farming up some kills, nice and easy. And sadly for Kinguin, this one just got away from them.
Yeah, interesting from Furlan there. Turns as if there was a flash, or he'd flashed. Sparrow with 2 headshots even! Can he get more? I mean, you'd hope to get a little bit more than that at this stage. He's going to flash, turn away, get into the corner, now to challenge, but Dupree's going to be there. Okay, a little bit of flair from Team Kinguin, but cuteness doesn't win matches. You need them rounds, and now they at least can buy up a little bit more around this.
13-6. And, you know, you got to feel Kinguin's money on the CT side. It's never been flush. They've never had that big round to make that big play yet. We haven't seen the AWPs coming through. And again, it's been a bit of a hammering so far. We've got the scout on Suspero.
Yeah, Sparrow buys a scout so we can buy a bunch of utility. I have to wonder what that's going to be put to here.
No tag, that's a shame. That could have done wonders for them. And even just like a small benefit would be great for them at the moment. Double stack towards Underpass though. Dupree going to be playing this spot. Holding the middle of the map, denying easy
That's the
rotates.
rush smoke. There it is.
They've done the rush
That is
smoke.
the rush smoke.
See, they doubted it. Look at it. It's a cheeky one-way. It's got everything. It's beautiful.
Perfect. See,
don't think
not
it's a
troll.
mistake. Don't think that's a
These
monster
so-called
smoke
experts
failed.
teasing
They
about
don't know
his smoke.
anything. They know nothing. Rushley, you're a genius. Anyway, back to the real game here. And Zimnix without a smoke, he's gutted. Now
Can't do anything now.
Nah, it's game over for him. But the playthrough Underpass coming through here. A couple of players. Device might be the lamb to the slaughter almost. Just going to let him off, make noise, make him rotate, make him believe in this while we ready ourselves for the hit towards B. And I'm looking at these positionings. This could be interesting coming out from Astralis. 3 mollies, Kirby, Device, and Dupree have those. And it's Furlan and Mouse to receive.
It's a shame that Device couldn't find more over at A, but he has kept Mihu wide and he's keeping Rowland and Sparrow for the most part over towards A. Good chance, though, that there's at least going to be 3 players here for Kinguin to receive this. So, I want to see this Molotov come out. Oh, hello, Glaive. Just finds the entry on towards Mouse. He didn't last long at all. He was actually standing off to Furlan's right, so it was a peek-off connector that managed to find a kill. That's ballsy. Playing ahead of the smoke like that, I like it. Now here comes the hit, though. The real thing from Astralis, and it's working well so far.
Well, Roland and Furlan still finding room to operate, but overwhelmed in the end by Astralis and that hit coming through. Such a smothering sort of sight play that they have. So now Mihu trying to find any sort of play in this is going to be almost impossible, and you're looking to try and keep hold of that gun more than anything. It's the only benefit I guess you could get out of this round, because a win might be a little too far. Molly's still left standing as well, and they're just be throwing them in just to clear out corners more than anything. And yeah, they're still checking in case there's any threat on board, any cheeky idea of a ninja defuse, but Mihu's having none of it. It's time to back, it's time to keep hold of the gun, and time to try and salvage a couple of rounds in this game. Otherwise, this will be spiraling away from them.
This is... You win 2 pistols. You win both pistols, and you get 6 rounds. There needs to be more from Kinguin here. Their execution, Lauren, seems to be the issue here. I haven't really seen too much. Well, I've seen a little bit of that elaborate sort of Molotov and smoke play kind of reminds us of what we first saw from NIP on Cash, although perhaps less effective in this instance. What do we have here? Oh, yes. That was... Okay. I thought he peeked from connector, given the angle of the play. I thought he was just showing behind the pillar, but that's just disgusting.
Glaive.
I'm glad we saw that, because I would have gone on thinking Glaive was actually a normal person, but now he's just filth.
Mitch, I know ESL are pretty light on cheaters, but that's... You can't be just doing it out in public,
hey,
all right?
Nothing, there's no connection between WeSer and ESL, Lauren. I don't know what you're talking about. No idea, mate.
Oh, I look forward to that email tomorrow. All right, Kinguin 6-14 now. I actually like a little bit of play towards long. They're trying to make a play, and I'm glad to see them doing it, not just kind of sitting back and waiting to receive the plays coming towards them. It's actually worked out. They've cleared out one side of the map. And the Astralis need to respond in kind, and I'm wondering what they're going to do off the back of this, because they're falling like flies now. Finally, Kinguin try and take the game to them. They try and make the plays, they try and make something happen, and it's worked very well. They're going to fall back off this, and we're seeing a boost here, trying to clear out the barrels. Don't see anything because they're pushing up on short, and this could be a problem somehow. The Sparrow still falls, that's gutting. It's a 3v4, no utility on Kinguin left.
That smoke from Mihu could be pretty nasty, but he actually gets the jump on Device. Well, Device gets the jump on him actually, but the response is better from Mihu. And then to turn on Dupree, that's going to keep Kinguin alive in this one. Kiavi will have very little to do in this round. Does he wait 45 seconds out? He doesn't have to. There's a good amount of money built up on Astralis. Following the previous rounds, although it could be better, you go over towards that door and listen to some club beats. That's always a nice feature on this map. That is a thing. I think we had one day where we went around trying to translate all the German on this map. That was fun. Jeez, we've gone rug hunting, we've gone German translating on these maps.
That's what I do on the weekend, Mitch.
Yeah, well, how's that going for you, mate?
Pretty rough.
like a Persian or like a plush rug? Like rough? Like, you know, like
it depends on the day.
Coarse thread?
You know, it depends on the day. Gotta suit the aesthetic, you know. Speaking of that, somehow Kiebi's still giving it a go. It's not gone too well, but he gave it a good run. Mihu in the end is going to shut him down. So there's a life left in them yet, and they've kept a fair few players alive, so they can at least maybe drop them out if they want to get some UMPs up. They can get rifles as well, but they've got utility this time. But the money's now starting to, you know, chip away from Astralis. They're down to their last 1,000. It's, you know, it's still okay. They can still get the full buy. Mihu just clearing out the windows. Why not?
Frustration maybe to vent on the poor windows. Now, Kinguin have had plenty of rounds with utility. That's not actually my concern. My concern is when it comes to the crunch and when they receive this from Astralis, who haven't really been reinventing the wheel on a lot of their approaches to the B side. We've seen some nice ones. The last round it all kind of fell apart for them. I like this from Dupree though. Lying in wait, hoping for Kinguin just to try and apply some CTE aggression. You know, you kind of get a feel for that when you're behind in so many rounds. You've got to make these moves, you've got to make these plays for something. Okay. Sparrow's met with a Molotov. Just move and cool himself down here towards the toilet block. Here's the push though.
Yeah, this is a problem because they haven't been able to check on Rylan yet. This spot has still been Oh no, Clave! Jumped on his head. That's not going to go well, but...
That is the lead enema you never wanted. Not ideal. Fortunately, he was able to be traded out there as well. So, I mean, players in Rylan's position quite often can even get more than that, but he was discovered maybe earlier than he would have liked. But this is still giving Astralis a pause for thought. Okay. Was that the wallbang from Dupree? I'm not sure if Mouse was boosted up there or what was...
Maybe, I don't know.
He was a connector. We'll get the replay later. Anyway, Mihu sat on the pillar now as well. He's a bit concerned about the connector angle, but his teammates have mollied it off. Still watching it. But in the meantime, it's the push towards long, and Sparrow has no idea. Kinguin have been pulled away from the A site here, and they're going to be forced into a complete retake attempt. Sparrow realizes the error of his ways, quickly trying to make his way up from bank, and he wins a fight out. He challenges Device head on, but it's the trade. Dupree was there, Astralis with the numbers.
Berlin. Looking for anything, and... Alright, what are the after-plan positions here? Kiebi off towards bank, Dupree playing by...
We've got the crossfire.
Yeah, the crossfire's pretty well kept. There it is. Dupree delivers that bullet to the brain of Ferlin, and then puts Astralis one step closer, 15-7.
Yeah. So no replay of that last shot for you guys, but I'm pretty sure it was gross. I'm pretty sure it was something really nasty.
There we go.
This is that curious intertwining of souls.
Rylan was trying to give him the run boost. He was just trying to help him out, you know. Didn't work out in the end. And this could be the way this game ends on, sadly, a bit of a lackluster buy for Kinguin. But you've got to say scoreline-wise, this actually hasn't been a bad performance. You kind of hope that maybe they got a little bit more building on their CT side. He had a little bit more money to play with, get those AWPs out, maybe put Astralis through their paces. But so far it feels that Astralis have just kept the kind of, I guess, momentum, the money, everything kind of going favorably towards them. And at the moment, you can see Kinguin looking for options, looking for opportunities. Mihu and Ferlin pushing out here, trying to be a little bit more active in this one. And, that's a nasty way to lose some HP.
Yeah. Can't be happy about that if you're Ferlin, but Mouse is able to even the ledger up in favor of Kinguin, in fact. That was a little bit of close play through the toilet block. The CZ works out. Now, flash. No, two smokes. All right. Better than one. Fair enough, boys. If you've got it, use it. This causes Device to have to sit now. He can actually molly off, so he's hoping to actually try and cut Sparrow out of the situation. He goes over to molly, tries to challenge out long. Device could be in trouble here, but Kinguin, Kinguin? They back away. Maybe expecting there was more than Device there, or just wanting to play passively and not give too much control. Either way, they're backing out.
Still could time this. Oh no, and now he's going to get this around the back. Device. Hello. There it is.
Just one
Execution.
bullet, boys.
Doesn't need any more. Mihu going to try and flash out towards Monster. They still see nothing. That's the problem. I'm pretty sure they're aware this is going to be a B hit, but it's, well, how do we play into it? We don't have the information. Now they will do. The flashes, the mollies, they begin, and the tidal wave of a hit is about to kind of crash towards the shore, but they aren't landing the shots just yet. 10 seconds remain. There's still trouble afoot, but it's going to be hard to make it count.
There's no way Ferlin gets here. There's no way he gets towards the side. Oh, a couple shots on towards Zipnix, but no. Bomb planted. Man advantage, though. Sparrow gets himself a quick double. This could be big. And another one coming out from him. The Desert Eagle. 3 kills in this round, and it's Device on his own with the AWP. He is in a very good spot to sit for this. There's no flashes available. Device takes one. Now the 1v1. Sparrow has to go for the bomb. He's got no kit to work with here. And Device decides that he's done. He's maybe expecting some sort of aggressive play from Sparrow, and he might have it.
He's playing the time like a champ.
Oh,
Look at this. He knows there's not going to be a kill on Sparrow. He knew this was a bad buy for him, but he's going to have to peek soon. Sparrow's got the angle, but he doesn't have the time anyway, and that is how you seal a deal. Device, and then 4 kills there. And Astralis, no surprises they're strong on this map, but they certainly brought a good game there.
Yeah, moments of individual prowess from some of the Kinguin players, but they just weren't able to bring it together in the grand scheme. Let's throw it over the desk with Moses and the lads and get their take on the match.
Yeah, well, we said it could be a little bit dicey for Kinguin there, and it was a lot of bit dicey for Kinguin. That was a very, very firm stomping from Astralis. That was nicely done from them. We said Overpass was going to be one of their best maps. They proved it here. Kinguin just never really even got into that game.
Well, they did the initial segment.
Okay.
So they got like
the first
5-2
4 rounds,
up.
yeah.
No, well, it was 5-2 at one point. It was looking a little bit hairy for Astralis there, but they really did run away with it in the end.
Yeah.
As to the reason we pointed in the pre-game, once they got themselves established, the money was working in their favor. They won like, I think it was 7 or 8 rounds in a row after that point. They got 10-5 at the half. Pretty much as expected. Device Orb didn't get an amazing amount of kills, but is opening up most of the rounds there. Kiabi with amazing play towards the A-bomb side, is locking them down and seems to actually making them look like fools most of the time. He's actually behind them most of the time, flanking, getting multiple spray downs, looking very good indeed. And like we said, Kinguin have some very good individual players, but overall, they're never going to be able to go toe-to-toe with Astralis, in my opinion. And that was testament right now.
The way that Kirby plays that toilet area on the T and CT sides, like just his decision-making, his lurking, his flanks, the way he seems to position himself always for multi-frags, some of the best, I think, you know, in any team, any player in the world right now at that position on either side in this map. And I have Device in my my fantasy team.
How do you do?
Relevant.
He only went +1, but they won 16-7, so the round, you know, the round win bonus.
Is that how the scoring works in that?
Do you think Kiabi's got a lot better since Glaive joined? It feels like he was like, I was questioning that pickup when he first joined.
Wasn't that discussed that Dupree kind of moved around his game, which gave more room to Kirby?
Dupree changed his role a lot.
Lauren,
He's mentioned it in interviews as well, that Dupree did a lot of work on changing his roles, and there was a lot of things.
To help Kiabi with his role in particular and actually give him roles he's more comfortable with. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is it when he first joined Astralis, I was kind of like, is this living up to expectations? Was this worth the transfer?
No, it was definitely a little bit sketchy.
Yeah.
Very early on in his transfer over, and that's another one of the things where we posed the question, you know, how has this team gotten so good when Glaive joined? One of the reasons is because Kirby seemed to be much more comfortable in whatever system Glaive brought in. So that is very cool to see. Another dominant game from him.
Yeah, very good. Like we said, it was a bit up and down, but they pulled it back. They lost both pistols there as well, Astralis, and still had that massive scoreline. So it just goes to show you
that
how
actually is pretty incredible.
Yeah, so and one of them was a 3-0 as well. So that's the fact they got that scoreline still, that sort of dominance is very impressive.
Anything else, Chad?
The next match is going to be
fire.
Sketchy.
Straight fire, as
Jason will put
it.
It's going to be extremely sketchy because both teams are average on cash.
That's true. Astralis on cash. Are we throwing right now, Jason? I don't want to jump in. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What is your show?
We're going to throw to a break.
We
will be right back with cash after this break. Stay tuned.